me that I need to be afraid. I've said this before, and I'm going to make sure that I keep these lines open. Everything that Elder Kirk says, your pastor that went to seminary, very much aware of this, okay? They know, but they chose a curriculum, all right? Remember I said denomination curriculum. Whether it be non-denominational, they chose a curriculum. When they go with that curriculum, then that's when, because they have to stay with the curriculum. Remember, curriculum, Republican, Democrat. It's a curriculum. You have to believe. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. When if a Republican has lied and said something wrong, guess what the others do? They stand behind him and say, hey, he may have been a little off, but we support him. Let's move on. He made a mistake. And this could have been, something that messed the whole state up, made the state lose money or anything to that nature. And guess what? We support him. We move on. And that's just as wrong can be. So that's what I mean when I say curriculum. You understand? If the Baptists have a specific thing that's not lined up with the word, but they believe it, guess what? If I say I'm Baptist, guess what? I believe that. That's what I'm supporting. And there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. This is what I'm presenting to God. Okay, God, you said that this is what you want in your word, but I believe what these people have put down. So, God, I'm going to have to skip that out of your word. I still love you, but when it comes to your word, that right there I'm going to have to cut out because I believe in what they're saying. There's no freedom. You're in bondage. But after so long, guess what? You believe it, so. Traditions, y'all. It's stifling us, man. It's killing us. It's choking us out. We are so closed-minded. I told you when I went to the church, guess what? I didn't listen to anything else. KRS-One was in my ear like crazy, man. I was too busy dancing like, yeah, he's saying something, yeah. But guess what? If I would have woke up then, things would have been way different than what I went through. You understand? I'm going to say things on here that I'm pretty sure some people may not like. You understand what I'm... Right now, for a lot of the, say young kids that are doing wrong, you know what I'm saying, right now, and have no guidance or, there's nothing really positive in their ear. Right now, let's see, KRS-One just put out an album, The Earth Is Mind. And I listen to that thing, man, and the way he's teaching, I'm telling you, to put it in a young person's ear right now. Now, you may not agree with all the words, but for what he's teaching, the problem with Elder Kirk was I was in the church. So I was in the church. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sitting here like there's nothing else. That's just the church. Anybody saying anything else, they're just wrong. Now, understand this. We had a brother one time. He infiltrated, and we say infiltrated. I ain't talking about nothing bad. He came in through the NAACP. We had an NAACP, and I was in a Baptist church, and he came. We didn't have no men. We just had a lady. So when the man came, he was like, "Oh yeah." So when the brother came in, what he done was he came in and he said, okay, fellas, I see, y'all might want to get your little, lifting some weights on, man. You come to the crib, I got weights. We good to go. I'm like, yeah. I was skinny. I'm, always tall, skinny, anything like, yeah, man, wait till I get my muscles, get the ladies. So, we go over, we lifting weights, and then the brother starts playing Farrakhan tapes. Now, the Farrakhan tapes he was playing, it was unedited. And when I say unedited, it was, from what we heard back in the day. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that they don't play, because in all of his tapings now, they do not play everything. So when I was like, no, man, no, bro, no, you Islam, man, bro, yo, come on, get out of here, bro. And he was like, yo, man, y'all need to listen to what the honorable, and I'm like, what? But because he never came to church. He was just there for the NAACP. But what he was trying to do was, you understand what I'm saying? He was trying to show us something else. But because of the brainwash and the closed-mindedness, because, hey, I listen to him now. You're not going to hear me do his teachings here because I don't believe, I don't do Islam or anything like that. But some of the stuff that he says is on point. Now, I don't listen to his whole, because like I said, that some of that stuff is rough. But for the pieces and, the ones that I have heard and I have listened to, I'm like, man, he's on it. So it's the traditional way of keeping you closed off. Come on, y'all with me? They're keeping you closed off so nothing else really exists. Now, you need to understand something. When they went to seminary, it was not just one thing that they learned, y'all. Some of y'all don't know this. Some of you do. That's why theologians, you can't tell theologians too much, man. They know a lot of stuff. And they know a whole lot more than just Jesus, okay? Understand that. They know some history stuff, man. Come on. That's why Elder Kirk said, I'm no theologian. I know some history, but I'm no theologian. Because you want to be a theologian, you got to go to seminary. Now, my son was quizzing me once. He said, Dad, I said, son, if that's really all the things that you really need to know, you in college, you need to go take you a theologian course. I guarantee you, you want to learn a whole lot more than you need. There's so much more to this, y'all. There's so much more to this. And I don't want you, see, because when you go to the church, that's where it's going to stop. Do you understand? I said this before. I said black churches should teach black history. And I'm talking true black history and not just Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King. I'm talking about the truth, y'all. If a lot of our elementary children right now, middle school kids and high school kids, could go to a black church and that they sit right there and show a slideshow of the true history, there will be a change. I promise you there'll be a change. But so many people have the internet, but they're not, come on now, they're not studying. They're not like, man, what? Let me read, let me see. They're not doing that. Our young people are busy, doing games, talking about, man, I'm not doing this. I'm not, come on, y'all. If we could just open up the door to this knowledge to a lot of our young people, our young kids, going to church every Sunday, and that black church is not teaching anything on the true black history. And I'm not talking about that surface stuff. I'm talking about true black history. I'm talking about the black history where it's like, no, that's no. See, I need y'all to understand something, y'all. And I thank God for enlightening me so I can give this off to you. In every, I say either religion or denomination, and we're going to go further. Whether you are woke or you conscious, whether Egyptian or African, whatever religion or faith, there's always about 20 to 30 people fighting about that same thing, saying, I don't agree with this. That history isn't with that history. So come on now, because I'm going to get you to the point to where you're going to say, you know what? Thank God. Thank God I know God for me. See, the reason Elder Kirk is saying that is because when you walk in a path, there's going to be about 20 or 30 darts coming at you, questioning you, saying, no, that's not true, and I have proof. You know what? You can have all the proof in the world. This is what I believe. This is where my faith is. Hey, you have a choice. You made your choice. Respect. We're We're not understanding that the tradition that is going on in the church is stifling and killing. We are not saying out of our mouths there's no power in the church. We're just going to the church and thinking all of a sudden there's going to be power. And I'm not just talking about feeding the poor and stuff like that. Now, the problem with a lot of churches is the churches only mess with you if you're a member. Come on now. That has to be talked about. These churches, we're going to have to get together with a lot of these churches, and we're going to have to sit down and say, okay, you have a lot of testimony, but that's for the people in your church. Now, I need you to understand something, because Elder Kirk was taught this. Okay? The Bible does say, all right, that you take care of the house first and then you go out. Now, how long have you been where you are? If it's been 20 or 30 years and you have not yet went out. We are so, how can I say, we are so enclosed and shut off from the world that the world is supposed to see us. But the only thing that the world is getting is the bad stuff. The world don't get the good stuff that the church. Hey, feeding the homeless and stuff like that, okay. But I'm talking about spiritually growing. I'm talking about if you're listening to Elder Kirk and your life has changed, that's what it's about. And then you continue with someone that you know. Because guess what? Elder Kirk said, open my Bible. When I open my Bible, I begin to hear God. Holy Spirit began to lead and guide me, and not the pastor and leadership. That's what it's about. I still push a personal relationship. And will always push a personal relationship. Find a good Bible study. Not just a Bible study, good, where you can ask questions. Where discussions happen. That's growth. If the preacher is just preaching all day long and he continues from Sunday, you're not growing. But if you raise your hand, come on now. There should be a person that can raise their hand and say, I have a friend that's Muslim and ask me this question. And then, you know what, Pastor? You answer it. But don't sit there and say, oh, no, they all going to hell. No. Our expectations are warped. Our expectations are warped. When we sow a seed, everybody, when we sow a seed, I need you to hear me now. When we sow a seed, when we sow the seed, guess what? The word said God does the rest. The church done told you to stay on them, keep calling, just stay active. Don't let them go. Come on now. Well, the Kirk, you're just going against everything. No, I'm not going against anything. I'm giving you what the true teaching of God is, and that's the way we're supposed to do it. When I heard that, I didn't agree with it. That's just Elder Kirk. I didn't sit there and try to start a revolt or anything like that. I was like, no, that's out of order. If all I'm supposed to do is give you the word and God does the rest, why am I always, every time I turn around, hounding you? That happened to me one time. I didn't do it anymore. The brother I had a lot of love for the brother. He was going through some things. And I kept calling and stuff like that. And, that's because the pastor was like, well, keep calling, and I'm like, yes, ma'am, blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing they got on the phone and was like, you don't have to keep calling. You don't have to keep calling. I got it. you must understand, every time the pastor or somebody says something to do something doesn't mean you always have to run and jump